Hey everybody, Riot Mort here. Today we're gonna be checking out the big 6 cost update everybody's talking about. I'm a little bit late to the game. Stayed up last night watching Arcane, so this wouldn't be spoiled for me. So I know there's some spoilers in here. So spoilers for Arcane, I believe, if you guys haven't watched it. So just check, so beware. And I had a really long day today, so we've entered into my degenerate hours of the night when my brain doesn't work right and I just want to relax. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna check out this new update because I think it's gonna be crazy. And so let's check it out. Family. How can there be two Vanders? Oh yeah, my guess was that they were gonna, obviously they're gonna add Victor. My guess was Victor, Mel, and Warwick are gonna be the 6 costs. Those are my guesses. I probably should have said that before they showed 2 of them, but you know, I think everybody thought that. Let me turn this down a little bit. It's a little loud. Turn it down. All right, let's do it.
Promised to help, but you stole everything from us.
I could always take more. You still needlessly suffer.
I think you've done enough!
Dude, this would be so weird to watch if like you don't know how TFT works. If you're just like a fan of Arcane, you're just like, what the fuck is this cinematic? How are there like there's a powder and there's 2 Vi's? How come there's 2 Vanders? What's going on? Why is Mel here? Why are they just in a, why does it look like a normal like American apartment? You know, like oh it is. The black rose blooms once more. Is she gonna be in here too? Oh yeah. Dude, I would love to go to this. They like actually built a bar like at Riot or whatever. Like that'd be so cool to go to this.
So no spoilers, but have you seen the most recent episode?
Of course.
What up,
it was
Sean?
amazing. How about that scene where the Chem Barons team up with Jinx and Vi in order to take down the Enforcers and the Firelights? But it all came down to the giant Hextech of Mumu and the Blitzcrank, and I think I'm talking about the ranked game I played before bed last night.
That reminds me. I need to tell everybody how
Tell
the
us,
set
Sean.
is evolving.
It all felt so real.
Tell us about your
Hey,
evolution, Sean.
We're back so soon, but so much has happened. If you're still catching up on Arcane's 2nd season and want to avoid spoilers, I'd suggest coming back to this video at a later point. Consider yourself warned.
Yeah, I stayed up last night watching this shit, so this wouldn't get spoiled for me.
Hopefully you've been having fun with the set.
Wait, how is this a spoiler alert? They showed Victor already what he looked like. And Mel having magic powers. Come on, man. You already see, come on, the spoiler warning need to be earlier. I did a spoiler warning.
So
You guys know.
far. But if there's anything we know about the world of Arcane, it's that you should never let your guard down. Things are about to change.
Sorry.
Last
6
time we
costs.
checked in, you may have noticed that some very important Arcane characters were missing from the set. That's because we wanted to wait until we could give them the entrance they deserve. Warwick, Victor, and Mel are joining into the Arcane as ultra-powerful 6 costs. They're rare,
You know what I thought was going to happen? I didn't think it was going to be 6 costs. I mean, before they made the YouTube title. I thought Victor was going to replace Malzahar, and I thought it was gonna be a nice little meme because Mort Dog's favorite champion is Malzahar, and he finally got it as a 5 cost, and then he'd get removed. I thought that's what was going to happen, but that's not what happened. But either way, I'm happy.
Rare, lucky to even see one rare. But when you do come across them, prepare to insta-buy. All right, let's introduce...
Prepare to insta-buy. Like they'll show up in your shop? Wow. That's interesting.
The trio. First
I
up,
was thinking they were going to create a whole nother class of unit. Like when I seen the 6 cost announcement, I was thinking like, oh, it's going to be a whole new class of unit. Like we could play for 6 cost now. I'm like, dang, that's a crazy change to do like after the game's already launched. But okay, that makes more sense now.
Warwick. He jumps around, executing enemies, and as soon as a few have died, Warwick enters a frenzied state, becoming unstoppable, ripping enemies apart with increased damage and omnibird. If you see a Warwick on the enemy board, do your best to deal with him first, or it's going to be a rough one. Next, there's Victor, because after everything that went down in Season 2, a transformation seemed in order. Lucky for us, the League team provided us one glorious, extremely tall evolution. This 6 cost fires his death ray instead of auto-attacking, can stun entire boards, and will make everyone a believer, whether they like it or not. Last but not least, Mel. Mel is at the peak of her power, dashing around the battlefield, reducing damage to allies, and unleashing stored damage. And the kicker is Mel's last stand. She'll shield your tactician from death. Time
That's
to
cool.
clap back.
The visual is.
We can't
Time
wait
to
see
clap
how players
back.
evolve their strategy to incorporate these late game win conditions. Let's head up to our Council of Devs to talk about bringing Arcane into TFT with our new 6 costs.
Thank you, Sean. Very cool.
So with the 6 cost, we had a really exciting gambit to make and a really exciting challenge, frankly. These champions have to be cooler than every other champion who's ever been in TFT. They have to be more powerful than every champion who's ever been in TFT, and they have to be bigger than every champion who's been in TFT. Luckily, these are characters we're really passionate about, we're really excited about. We love all 3, Mel, Warwick, and Victor. So let's get right into the rarity of them. I think that was a really defining factor of how we get to make these guys special.
They have to be the biggest, the coolest, and the strongest units TFT has ever seen. And then we have to balance them.
Yeah.
And so the first thing we're gonna do is, well, we want people to see Arcane, immediately go into their game and see these amazing, cool characters and experience the battles and the tension and the high moments from the shell. And the way we're gonna do that is, first, they gotta be a little bit rarer, right? Players are probably not gonna see them until like the middle of stage 5, and more likely you're gonna see them on stage 6. And they're not gonna be in every game. You're not gonna see one every single game. But when you do, they should be these huge wow moments.
So what are the
You pick them up, you
conditions?
see-
What are the conditions? Why won't I see them every game? Oh, because it's a 1.04% at level 10? Oh. That sounds like... Okay, I'm not really like a high elo grinder anymore anyways. I just kind of like play for fun. But man, for all the grinders, I still have a brain for it though. Like my brain instantly like goes to like grinding ranked. Bro, is it really going to be 1% and like it's just like an auto win if you already have a strong board? Like if you're in like a situation where the guy you're versus like wins 80% of the fights, wins the fight 80% of the time, you win the fight like 20% of the time, you're getting beaten but not beaten too bad. And then like, oh, I just hit a Warwick. Okay, I guess I win. Is it going to be like that? I really hope it's not like that. With a 1% drop rate at level 10, then it is like that. Like it really is like that. You hit it, you just win. I guess that's okay, I guess. I guess that's okay because it's so rare. I don't know. Maybe it'd be better if it was like 5%. No. Maybe it's good that it's 1%. I'm kind of going through a lot of thoughts here with you guys. Maybe it is better at 1% because it is so rare that it's like if you hit it, then it's like, well, I guess fuck me. I guess he just wins. Like, you know, like whatever, you know, happens. It's kind of like you just hit like all the econ units you need, like all the Kim Barons, like on, you have like 5 Kim Baron on like 2/2 for some reason, for no reason. Like, you know, like sometimes it just happens. And like, yeah, if that happens, you just win, you know, fuck it. So maybe that's okay, right? I don't know. We went through a lot of thoughts there.
See them, they're special, they're the main characters, and they're probably gonna be around a 2-star 4-cost in power. So if you imagine Remix Rumble and hitting your 4-cost headliner, imagine that, except you can start them up again and again.
The power difference that you mentioned, I think, is also really interesting from an...
So like the power is a 4-cost headliner from set 10. So an empowered 4 cost. So like a 5 cost?
Audio and art perspective as well, since 5 costs for us are usually the
That's a weird way to describe it. Maybe she's gonna...
ceiling, right? That's where we invest most of our effort to make them feel really special. But in this case, we don't want to take away from our 5 costs, but we want to raise the bar even higher for our 6 costs.
I think also the 6 costs all kind of get a big moment at some point.
Yes.
And I'm sure that gave you guys a lot to work with. All right, I think we're ready to talk about Mel. Her character arc in the show, going
big
from a
moment in the
politician
show,
to an incredibly powerful mage, is so exciting, and I'm really glad we got to capture it.
I like Mel. I really like Mel. She's one of my favorite characters. I think she's really well written.
Mel discovers her powers. That was something we really wanted to translate through in the audio as well. We were very lucky. We were
I think her character feels like has like a lot of depth.
able to work with the Arcane audio team, and they were able to send us over some of the sounds that they had used to create Mel's magic.
For animation side, we wanted to capture her elegance in her movements. Also, one of her perk ability is to save tactician from elimination.
Steve-O.
That's where the VFX shine.
This dude's name is Steve-O. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the, when we just say like fun challenge, right? We wanted Mel to feel like you were cheating.
The first time we saw these 6 costs cast their ability and then read their passive, we're just like, there's no way they're allowed to do this. And then we go and talk to Julian, and it's like, no, that's actually what we want. We want everyone to feel that feeling because hopefully everyone gets to play with one of these.
You know, I've thought more about the drop rate when I saw that 1% at level 10. I think it is, yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, you don't ever plan to play it, and if it happens, it happens. You just win. Like, fuck yeah, sick. I think that's cool. I think that's actually cool. I've thought about it more. It is going to be very frustrating for players and like playing in a tournament, but it's going to be really exciting for the viewers. And it's all about like the viewers and the casuals. Like that's what it's really all about. And I think that will make it more fun. So I think this is a really good idea for fun of the game. I think if you're like a grind lord, this is probably not a good update for you.
During the set, and they're just like, that's cool. That's what I want to do.
Moving on to Warwick. Warwick was a champion who kind of built the experiment trait. We knew from the start we were putting Warwick in. We said, great, let's just do this entire trait around him. And of course, by doing that, we did give a 6 cost a trait.
Julian comes up to me and is like, Warwick has to be an experiment. He has to have a trait. He is the experiment. These 6 costs, you should think about putting them on your board whenever you see them in the shop. That's how good and that's how powerful they're going to be. And so you've kind of noticed when you read all the abilities that they all have a hook that is good when they're 0 items, and they all kind of transform when you have 3 items, right? Warwick is going to execute anyone on the board below 20% HP. And
so you basically star them up by putting on items. Okay, because I was like wondering, how do you ever star them up if they're so rare?
If you put 3 items on him, he goes berserk. And if we put experiment, which has a nice little trigger.
But I suppose you could actually star them up as well with like duplicators.
Whenever he kills something, he goes that extra level.
Warwick also has a lot of expectations behind him, right? Unlike Victor, who is...
Or do they come already starred up? Like they come already 2-starred, maybe? I don't know.
Really very different from his
sure.
League of Legends interpretation. Or Mel, who is a new character. Warwick, we wanted to feel like Warwick. Players love Warwick. Rachel, can you go into that process?
Oh, Warwick. I do love Warwick.
So like you mentioned, we're already so
he is right about that.
With how Warwick sounds in League of Legends and from previous...
I fucking hate him in League, but like when he initially said that, I was like, players like Warwick? I think Warwick is like lame, linear, and annoying to deal with in League. But in TFT, he's fucking awesome. So yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Iterations of TFT sets. So
I love
what
Warwick.
we wanted to do was to make sure that we retained a lot of those audio cues so that he still feels familiar to what we are already know, while at the same time making sure that we're incorporating as much of his arcane self as we can. 2 things that we focused on, for example, are 1, bringing in the sounds of the anomaly, the low gurgling, the high chittering sounds, along with some of the sounds of the shimmer, the shrieky type sounds that you'll hear with that, and really combining all of those to make his kit really shine.
For Warwick, we wanted to capture his movement to be more feral, berserk, kind of contrast to Mel, where she has a lot of arcs and slow movement. This time it's the opposite, where he should move very fast in straight lines, goes over the top, even in VFX and everything. Yeah.
All right, I want to talk about easily the most exciting 6 cost to make. One of your favorite characters from League, one of your favorite characters from the show, and your favorite 6 cost to play. Victor.
Victor is the pinnacle.
Had to give everybody something there.
That finalization faced, but also the cool things that we get to do with 6 costs, right? We've never printed a unit that not only hits the entire board, but also stuns the entire board, and then actually has the rest of his spell as well.
Yep.
And that just encapsulates what a 6 cost is. I think the set's design team came to us and says, hey, play these champions, and our playtest, which is a bunch of Challenger and above players, can't be higher than Challenger, what am I saying? But a bunch of really, really good
Challenger
players.
and
The
above.
first time we see these abilities, we're just like, there's just no way they're trying to ship this. And they're like, no, that's the perfect reaction. That's what we want people to feel. And that's why we're making them these rare, super, super exciting moments in the game. And again, you're not gonna see them every game. You might see one every like 1 or 2. And if you're lucky enough, they'll be on your team, right?
First seeing Victor's spell was awesome. I was like, oh, this is gonna be such a cool moment for everyone. The really cool thing about it though is that from an audio perspective, something we're always thinking about is, you know, we've got up to 20 champions on the field at once. How do we make sure that the important gameplay moments are still audible for all of those champions? Because Victor is actually stopping everything for a second, it gives us a moment where we're able to do a lot more sonically than we normally would. We have much more frequency spectrum room, so we're really able to bring out that anomaly-powered moment.
Victor was a very interesting character from the season 1 and season 2, where he changes over time. He starts with the innocent guy with the cane.
That was such like a technical way to explain that there is less noise happening. We have sonic frequency range to deal with. I don't know. It's just a funny way to describe that when you're making a public-facing video. All good though.
Becomes uncontrollable god, where he can influence everything, the whole universe. So we wanted to capture that in game, where his movements and everything is very calculated. And usually we try to align the thematics and his character and ability together. His animations will feel like he's very effortlessly lifting everyone up, but his actual influence to the board in the game is massive.
As for power budget,
It looked like he shredded them too and he slammed them down.
What a 6 cost should be and what we want players to feel. Essentially, you write down what he does, he's broken.
So like, it's like you just get Victor, have a front line, put a mana item on him and you win probably, I guess.
One of the main reasons.
As long as like your team comp isn't just like ridiculously bad.
We have.
But if you made it to level 10, of course, there's no way your comp is bad. So it's probably just instantly win if you hit Victor, isn't it?
Such restrictions on getting a 6 cost, right? You're kind of guaranteed to get one at some point in the game, and if you're really lucky, maybe you can send your 6 cost into the anomaly, and then you have a probably OP champion becoming insane.
I really want to thank you all for joining me to talk about 6 costs.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Players have fun with the set.
So what are the conditions of acquiring them? Are they going to say that? Because it's just normal drop odds, because he kind of made it sound like there's other ways to get it. Oh, Macau Open.
Hey Tacticians, I'm Dylan, Global
Hey,
TFT
Dylan.
Esports Strategist. We're just a couple weeks out from the Macau Open, TFT's annual LAN tournament, where players come from
Yo, you know what's great about the Macau tournament being right now and other stuff they've done with this is the first snapshot is January 5th. So if if I actually want to climb and play in tournament, I'm not sure if I want to, we'll see. If I'm like still having fun in a month. Then it's actually like doable. Like last year they had the snapshots like super early. Like, dude, I gotta like travel for Thanksgiving and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna like, I gotta like travel for that, and I gotta instantly travel for Christmas, and like snapshots are like the week of Christmas. It's like, bro, this is fucking crazy. Anyways, I think that was last year, maybe it was the year before, but something like that. But I'm really happy that they're doing snapshots January 5th and just letting the Macau Open be its own thing.
from far and wide to battle it out in a brand new set over the course of one incredible weekend. The best part about the Open is that anyone from anywhere can walk away with the belt. It'll be played on the updated version of Into the Arcane that has our new 6 cost. So expect to see the meta evolve as you watch, or play, or watch and play at the same time. But the tournament really is just the beginning. This is a weekend that's all about celebrating TFT. We'll have show matches on a LAN exclusive Mimi version of TFT, meet and greets with TFT stars, as well as an in-client hub. We'll also have a global roster of co-streamers and unique emotes to collect by watching them, and a cheeky new little legend inspired by this year's location and its iconically delicious egg tarts. Last but not least, on the final day,
the egg tart thing looks cool.
2025 roadmap with a preview of our second match
that's what
for
I'm
the
excited
entirety of
about.
next year. Check out the article we just dropped for all the details. Before I send you back over to Sean to tell you about one last thing, we'll give you a sneak peek of Chibi releasing, especially for the Open. Chibi Porcelain Aurelia, show them what's what.
We've got one last thing to share.
That was
We hope
all right.
You've been loving our
My favorite chibi that they've released lately is the Vi one. The Vi cinematic's pretty cool. I mean, obviously I just use Sentinel Craggle, but I don't mind getting killed by Vi. I'll let her smash me into the ground any day of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Very first tactician in our new style.
Talk about Vi.
With this update, we're bringing another familiar face to join Jinx in the Convergence. Every week is now Warwick. Arcane Season 2's version of Warwick is the ultimate expression of furiosity and uncontrollable bloodlust, and this new tactician will reflect exactly that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thanks so much for watching and playing.
That was pretty cool. It looked like a little shitty quality, but it was also cool.
It's been a pleasure.
Like fidelity-wise, looked a little bad quality, but like it was fine. I thought it was cool.
Bringing Arcane to life in the Convergence, and we hope you love it.
Yeah, so in synopsis, yeah, I think this is a cool update. If you just are a fun enjoyer, if you are a casual, if you are, you know, just play the game for fun like I do, I think this is a really good update. If you're a grind lord, probably not a good update, but I think it's gonna make like watching the game more fun. I think it's gonna make playing the game more fun in a lot of situations. Some situations not as fun, but I think it's kind of cool. Hey, and lastly, guys, hey, what do you guys think about those last 3 episodes of Arcane? Honestly, I thought they were kind of weak. I thought the first half, I thought season 1 and then the first 3 episodes of season 2 were so good, but it kind of fell off for me a little bit. It was still good. Still solid. I didn't hate it. It was great. Still good. It was like first season and act 1 of season 2 was like a 9 out of 10. It felt like a 7 out of 10 as it ended. I don't know. That's how I felt. I wonder how you guys feel. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Appreciate you guys, and
yo, fuck your mom's ass.